Our author, and next to me I have our gorgeous author Toni-Lontis,
Hi everyone.
author of Resilience. So Toni, we're on the Gold Coast today, right? This
Yes.
is where you're from.
Yes.
And you and I met March, just over 12 months ago.
Just over 12 months ago.
So sometimes I feel like it's a lot longer that I've known people.
Yeah.
So Toni was in a room like this today. She's come back to help us crew at this event, and she helped last time, which is amazing. And then well, first of all, let me ask you, how long had you been thinking about writing a book before coming to that event?
So I'd had the bones of thoughts about writing a book for probably 5 to 10 years before I actually made the decision to write. And I made the decision when I came to one of Nat and Stu's events here on the Gold Coast, and decided that this year, 2018, I'm going to write my book, and that's what happened.
So 5 to 10 years, because a lot of people think about it for a long time.
Yes.
They're the largest portion of the population who are the thinkers. What was the trigger point? Of course, obviously you came to a workshop that gave that opportunity, but was there a trigger point to come to the workshop even?
Well, there were a couple of things that happened in my life, a couple of conversations with family that sort of triggered me, and conversations with friends that triggered me to say, you need to write that book. And then coming to your 48-hour event and realising that I would have someone to support, encourage and guide me through the whole process, because I knew nothing. I wasn't even sure I could write a book, but doing the program helped me do all of that and nurtured me through that process.
Nice. And she has been a model student, because she completed it. She came down to the November retreat, so you had a lead-up period of about 7 or so months.
Yes.
And you actually typed the book. You didn't speak it out. So this is a hefty book, guys. It's 65,000 words. Normally 40.
Yeah, I had another consulting company, and in the July of that year, I made the decision to stop consulting and write the book. And for me, the reason I did that was that it was very cathartic for me to actually write those words rather than speak them out.
Yeah. And we have got Toni committed to write her second book through our publishing company, which you're now thinking about doing it the other way, which is the 48-hour author way, right?
Speaking it out.
See how it goes and all that sort of stuff. So tell us a little bit about what's the book about, because actually when I carry it to events, a lot of people love your cover, and they always go up and look at it, and then it really stands out. So tell me the thought process and what is it?
So my book Resilience is actually my memoir, so the story of my life up until this point in time. So I was born with like a genital birth defect. I had very noticeable left-sided facial palsy, which led to bullying and low self-esteem, bad mistakes through life, and I talk about all of those decisions and the psychology behind those decisions that led you to those points in your life and the outcomes. And there were a number of tremendously traumatic events in my life and that of my children's life. So I talk about that, and I talk about how we get through it and what led me to this point in time when my life is completely different from anything that I ever imagined. And I wrote it so that I could show people that there is happiness, health, wealth after trauma, and that I wanted to give people a glimmer of hope and to help.
So the tagline is memoir of a broken little girl discovering a woman of strength and beauty, because you can't probably see that on the internet. So in saying that, then what are the intentions with it? I know you've sold quite a few books and you're out there. This woman's done so many promotions and clever little strategies that I haven't even thought of, that she's added in. So you're even adding value to our community through the things that they're seeing you do. Tell me.
So just lots of little things. I've invested in myself. So besides Nat's program, I've learnt all the social media platforms, how to use them, how their algorithms work, and have used that to promote myself and my book. Also following Nat's idea around networking. If you're going to write a book, you need to start networking. And you need to get over that fear of yourself, and you need to just do it. So I've done all of those things, as well as I have done collaboration with other authors. I've collaborated with best-selling authors.
Yeah.
I've found out who they were. I've connected with them. I asked them lots of questions.
Yeah.
I'm insanely curious, and that's led me on my journey. It's also led to my own radio show. So I do a 2-weekly worldwide internet radio show, and just doing that show has increased my book sales. But for anyone that has come on the show, it's also delivering wonderful things for them. So my best-selling author last week saw a 47% increase in traffic to his website. He had an increase in his email subscribers, and an increase spiked on his book sales, and he's a best-selling author already.
Wow.
So those things are teaching me how to do this business, and being involved with the 48-hour author family, because it becomes family. I have an abundance of guests to come on the
I know,
show.
so many, 340 of them, so
that's
one
right.
at a time. And you also recently were published in Y Mag, and you've got your book on the back, she's on the cover, you guys. I'm going to be reading this on the plane tonight. But congratulations.
Thank you.
All of these little things do add up, and the momentum starts to snowball.
Yes.
I love that you shared some figures of what some of the results are and all that sort of stuff.
And another guest that I had on from America, so I have guests from all over the world. Another guest I had on from America just dropped me an email just last night. I haven't had the chance to respond to her.
Yeah.
But her comment was, your radio show was a powerful platform for me. And she's a consent crusader, changing laws in the US.
Wow.
And she attributed her recent spike in inquiries to being on the radio show. So I'm finding that, aside from being a newly published author, an immense journey as well. So
you're making a big impact. Isn't that wonderful when you feel that you're contributing and that ripple effect spreads beyond what you have done?
And that's from just writing a book. That's just getting over that fear, just doing it and leveraging it to do other things in your life.
Tell me, I didn't plan to ask you this, but you mentioned the word fear.
Yes.
And I always like to ask, what are the 2 things, fears or challenges, that were sort of maybe in your way when you even made the decision, just before or just after? What do you think they may have been?
So,
if you can think back.
Yeah, I can. I know what they were.
Yeah.
I felt that I wasn't good enough to write.
Yeah.
And I was worried what the world would think of such a traumatic story. So I had to get over those very real fears and know that every person is uniquely them. There's no other Toni on this planet.
Yes.
No one else can tell my story, only I can. And it's the same for all of your people listening to this, that your fears are the same as anyone else's.
Yeah.
If you think that Oprah and all the famous names have no fear, they don't. Everyone has fear. It's just a matter of getting over yourself and doing it. Your message is important. Your message is unique. You are unique. You won't be me. You will be you, and no one else can be you. And therefore, your writing can't be anyone else's. So
I
get
love
out there
that.
and write your book.
Yeah, I love it, because I say that no one can do your flavour.
No.
People can try to copy you or do something similar things, and sometimes I get people in these rooms saying, oh, someone else could do it if I don't do it. No. Even if they do a similar genre, they can never do it the way you will do it.
That's right.
They can never promote themselves the way you will promote yourself, and with the passion, energy, enthusiasm that you have. So don't worry about it. Embrace your flavour and just get on with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
And Nat's support is for all sorts of books. So mine is a memoir, but lots of Nat's writers are business people, and they're using their books to leverage their business. So writing a book gives you a level of credibility, and that links into social credibility and a digital footprint. So if you're wanting to leave a footprint on the world, write a book.
Oh, she's so insightful. I love it. I love it. So where can we get this book?
So my book is available online at all good online retailers. It's also available directly from my own website, which is ToniLontis.com, ToniLontis.com.
All posted below.
Absolutely.
We'll post it below. Get it off her because she will sign it for you. Yeah?
Yes, I'll sign it and send it off to
She
you.
sends it off very specially. I know when I got mine, and the little extras that you put in when you did post it was like, oh, such a nice touch, because sometimes you just get the book and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I straight away contacted you.
That's me. I'm generous and I like to give. So. Yeah. And each their own. And people remember that. Make yourself memorable. What is it that you're going to do? So that's fantastic. Wow. Well, last of all, how was the experience? I mean, I know you've spoken about it throughout the whole interview. So it was... If you could summarize it maybe in one word. Okay. Powerful. There you go. Powerful and empowering experience. Yeah. And you know what, guys? When she attended the November retreat, when were you holding it? By... No, it was done in December and holding it in February. So so realistically, January, end of January, I think we got the boxes delivered. So it was like 8 or 9 weeks after the retreat, which to go through a whole publishing process of a 65,000 word book and the layout and the final cover designs and all that, that's a rapid rate. I always say 3 to 4 months after retreat. But it was very quick, and that's because you were very organized. So, thank you so much for being our interviewee, author extraordinaire of Resilience, Toni Lontis here today in the Gold Coast. And let's smash out today's event and discover your future guests on your radio show. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, guys. See you guys. Bye.